kick to the gut.
I like it.
Let's get ready to rumble! I know that one different sport, but it kind of fits today's theme. Hey, what's up? It's Mr. Young.
And it's foreign in the building.
Yo.
Rumble season, bro. Start of WrestleMania. Let's go.
That's right. But then the Rumble happened, and I guess I'm foreshadowing what we felt about the Rumble. Actually, I don't know how you feel. We'll get into it in just a bit. But first and foremost, I'd like to wish everybody an advance 恭喜发财!
Yes. Oh, bro. Happy Chinese New Year.
Oh, thank you.
For you, especially, you're going to be having a reunion dinner, I think,
Yes.
at the end of the day, right?
Reunion dinner is tonight. The whole weekend was about baking pineapple tarts and, spring cleaning, mopping up, cleaning the floor, everything clean. You know what I mean?
All right. Awesome, man. I'm happy for you. Enjoy the next 2 days.
Yes.
Visiting, break, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
So like for me, I was busy as well, man. Like, weddings over the weekend, crazies, yeah.
Bro, you know what I heard, right? I heard that 22 to... Okay, hold on. Somebody has... I think you have the stream playing in the background. I can hear it.
Oh shit, can you hear it? Okay.
Yeah.
Let me soften it a bit.
Alamak, you watching yourself, see your hair nice, see your face.
Bro, must see the
Handsome or not?
chat.
Public holiday is always like a bit of a busy day also. People wrapping things up at work, because I know a lot of offices are going on half day today. You know what I mean? So, okay.
Yeah.
If it's half day, whatever the case may be, we appreciate that you're spending your afternoon with us here today. Edison, yo! Yes!
What's
新年
up, what's
快乐! 恭喜发财! Hey, I want to say 红包拿来, but I cannot because I'm the one giving out the 红包, the ang paos.
Oh yeah. So tradition-wise, if you're a married couple, you're the ones giving out.
That's why I don't want to visit anybody.
So isn't the goal to stay as single as possible?
See, I don't know if that's a good trade-off. Once a year, you give out ang pao versus having a loving and beautiful wife to take care of and
course,
take care
so
of you. Right?
I appreciate it, bro.
But yeah, how is your week looking like, by the way, before we jump into wrestling,
Yeah, it's been good. The thing about Rumble season is like you always get hyped for it, no matter what you feel about WWE at that time of the year, You just can't help yourself, right?
Referee Ryan, Happy New Year as well, my friend. Year of the Tiger. The Eye of the Tiger. That should be the theme song for this year, Eye of the Tiger.
Yeah, man. Year of the Tiger, indeed. It's perfect.
Hey, we should know, please. What pay now link to get Mr. Young's ang paos?
How about we set our Patreon link, and then you guys can help us make the podcast a much better, user-friendly experience.
The royalty, hello.
Hello.
I like that not so subtle jump into our Patreon, our push for our Patreon page. What's up? Go check out our Patreon page. Only if you can, if you're comfortable, hey, go ahead and drop us a support. Whatever tier you're comfortable with, each tier comes with its different perks and benefits. But you know what? It's free. Our Discord channel is free. Come join the Discord, join in the conversation. And especially when pay-per-views are going on, right? Live, y'all can discuss there. Speaking of which, by the way, the Discord link is in the description. I just very quickly want to mention I was not AFK. I guess AFK. I was away from the Discord the entire time yesterday because in the morning I had to go for yoga, and then after that I had work to do, then after that I had spring cleaning to do. I didn't actually get to watch the Rumble live, and I was messaging Foreign, I was like, bro, this is a test of my willpower, because you can't just not watch it. You can't look at, social media is off limits, right? So imagine me trying to tahan while I'm just sitting on the toilet taking a shit. That's when you go on social media, you check your Instagram, all that nonsense, right? It's like, cannot, bro. I'm like, I cannot look. I can't even go to my favorite news sites because some of it covers pro wrestling news.
You can't even open Facebook, can't even open Instagram.
Wow.
Bro, you know what's funny? Because the chat was popping off, and I was at work as well, and I was eyeballing the Discord. So someone was asking hey, so why Mr. Young so quiet? So I had to explain the content because you texted me right after. But yeah, that's a great thing about our Discord. I'm so happy that we set it up. Now I feel like us and the listeners can react to it live before we go on the podcast live stream, and we talk about it after the fact.
Exactly. So and it's always good to hear your point of views as well, source your ideas, and maybe steal some of your comments. No, I'm kidding. We have our own comments to make. We have a lot, actually. Sir Hus, It's good to see you. Jin Long, how are you? Kong Si Fa Sai, everybody.
What's
Muhammad
up?
Daniel says, give us ang pao first, then we'll buy Patreon later. Wow, basket this fella.
Oh, so this one is like plus and plus together lah. So it's like everything evens out lah.
So basically, I pay myself lah. Is that what I'm doing?
Bro, then you just ang pao yourself lah.
Yeah, I give myself ang pao lah. Like then remove the transaction cost. Okay. But all jokes aside, right? Did you manage to watch the Rumble live as well?
So I managed to only watch the women's Rumble just a bit before I went to work. Yeah, but you know, speaking of Rumble, when we released our Rumble flops video on Saturday, I was thinking to myself, right, like, will this year's winner be a flop at WrestleMania or not? You know, it kind of like segued in like very nicely, if you know what I mean.
I love how smoothly you slid right there, like sliding into a person's DMs, right? You slid that plug right in there. Go check out.
I got a lot of experience, bro.
Go check out our latest video on the YouTube page, okay? After we finish the live stream, of course. Don't look at it now, lah. You stay here now, lah. We looked at like 5 of the biggest flops in Royal Rumble history.
Yes.
Nice one. Good to see you.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, how do you define a flop? Because sometimes the Rumble win itself was really excellent. It was a great match. It's just the payoff at WrestleMania sucked.
Well, the whole idea is for the Rumble winner to go on to WrestleMania and have an epic main event, right? Win or lose, like, I mean, okay, you can argue that a loss at WrestleMania, even though you won the Rumble, can still be a star-making moment. It's just you didn't win. But the 5 that we brought up, it's like, wow, I really cannot make it lah. You know, win Rumble, you're like, oh, they're gonna become a not so much. You know.
Yeah. One of them even was in this year's Royal Rumble, and when he came out, I was like, yeah, 5 years ago this was a dream match, but now like, yeah, whatever.
Nobody cares already. Yeah, it's long gone, right? So okay, before we jump into the Rumble though, I know, right? Like, when I brought this up to Foreign just now, I was like, hey, bro, we need to talk about Beach Break as well. He was like, oh shit, I forgot about Beach Break.
Yeah. AEW Beach Break happened this past week, guys. You guys even remember?
Okay, here's the thing, and this is very telling of the product and the thing that I always complain about AEW. Oh, Mr. Young, he just doesn't get the new school. He doesn't get the flippity-floppity shit. Look, man, as much as I enjoyed Cody versus Sammy Guevara. Right? But you know what it's like? It's like playing around or Street Fighter. Wow, bam, 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 lot of action. Wow, pa, 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 very cool. Flashing lights. After that, you don't remember shit. You just remember the flashing moves and maybe the one big, the one that they share on social media like a million times.
Yeah, the cutter, right?
Yeah.
The highlight reel cutter, right?
But you know what I mean?
Yeah, and you know what's crazy? Because of course speculation was rampant on the road to Royal Rumble, right? People were speculating, could the forbidden door be open? Could we see some AEW people in the Royal Rumble? Could we see Cody Rhodes, have his free agency? I
don't understand why people were even speculating that, because it doesn't benefit WWE to bring in Cody at all, not a single bit, not an iota. I don't think he's on the level of the superstar that he thinks he is, and I don't think WWE thinks he is as well.
You know what would have been funny? They didn't bring in any AEW guy, but then they bring in an Impact wrestler. They bring in like Moose or something.
Oh, right. Well, I mean, they did for the women's division. So, and this is like, where's my Dante Chen? Busy being beaten up by Duke Hudson, apparently, on NXT. Okay. We're getting ahead of ourselves because all of a sudden, I just thought of something. Because you notice there was no NXT presence in the Rumble at all this year.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah. Really, they're like, okay.
Indictment, bro.
Different universe. The 2 universes shall not meet.
NXT back to FCW level, bro. It's just developmental. Unfortunately.
Just with television, right? Okay, so back to Beach Break. Overall, what did you think of that ladder match?
Okay, the ladder match, I think, was a great showcase of Sammy Guevara.
Yes.
I mean, Cody Rhodes, I think, did his job in putting over Sammy Guevara. And I harken back to the first ever Dynamite in 2019. First ever AEW match on television was Sammy Guevara versus Cody Rhodes.
Yes.
And I'm happy, if nothing else, right, AEW really has created a new star in Guevara.
Okay. Yeah, but I feel like that's more a Chris Jericho doing than a Cody doing. You know what I mean? And based on what he's done himself and the Inner Circle stuff versus the Pineapple and all that kind of stuff, not so much a Cody creation.
I wouldn't say it's a Cody creation, but I kind of like, as I'm a Sammy Guevara fan. I just feel that she has grown so much in these 3 years, and I think we've been privileged to see that growth on television ourselves.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I just watching that match, I'm like, okay lah, this is just essentially a spot fest done for this new generation of, I just want to see highlights. Even if I miss the whole match, honestly, I don't think I missed that much. I just need to look at the highlights of that match.
And it's funny, they put up actually a 9 or 10 minute video of the match on their official YouTube page. So it's almost like half the match they give it away for free.
Yeah, like it's all the high spots lah.
So like the first 10 seconds is already that high spot cut.
Right. Then what else stood out for you? Okay, so we had I think there was a women's match, Layla Hirsch versus Red Velvet. Whatever. Okay, yeah. Okay. Less said is better. CM Punk MJF. Okay, so we had the iconic image of MJF sitting on CM Punk.
Yes, so finally, it took them long enough.
Yeah,
but we are gonna have the match. But the thing is, I don't even really know whether they will really have the match. Okay. It feels like a bit grey, right?
Okay, just now while I was showering, I don't know why I was thinking about it when I was showering. Okay, like MJF and his scarf made me, all wet and steamy. Anyway,
what?
I was thinking of that whole situation because they're doing it in where?
Chicago.
That's right. Like, you don't fight CM Punk in Chicago. That kind of thing, right? What if next week, MJF comes out and he brings out with him Mickey Gall.
Mickey Gall, UFC guy Mickey Gall.
The guy who choked out CM Punk in Chicago. Hey! Bro.
If Mickey Gall ever wants a sports entertainment career, I think it will be the perfect segue.
No, like he's like the one guy that is like, CM Punk's big kryptonite or whatever, and I wouldn't put it past them to do something like that because they are so in the know. They're very, all about the meta, as it were, right? And Tony Khan has lots and lots of money. He can just offer Mickey Gall a one-off deal, maybe show up for an episode or two. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if that happened.
Interesting booking. What really happened to Mickey Gall? I don't even hear about him ever since.
Mr. Young, Booker of 2022, best Booker. Let's go. I think he had a couple of fights, but like no high-profile fights. Like literally, CM Punk was the highest-profile fight he's ever had.
So he just fizzled out. Kind of. I mean, he's still signed to UFC, I guess, right?
Yeah. But imagine if they paid him for a one-off to show up and catch out CM Punk or get in CM Punk's head. Honestly, I feel like the match is not going to happen. It's going to be another like bait and switch.
Yeah. The thing is, I kind of want to see it now because I think by the time it reaches and crawls to Revolution, I think it won't be that hype anymore.
But really, free TV? You want to give it away on free TV?
I think they might have one match and then they will have another match at Revolution because I feel like they can't sustain the promo, like do the promo game anymore. There's nothing left to be said. Yeah.
Well, I mean, they've done a good job of dragging it out. Don't get me wrong. Like the whole they haven't actually had physical contact until just last week, right? So well done, to them for doing that. But beyond that, you're right. Like, how long can this go? Do we have the patience for this?
Yeah, and no offense, when I was looking back at the first ever encounter on the mic that they had, bro, it's been nearly 2 months, bro. It was at the end of November. Now we're at the end of January. It's really they're really relying on the fans to be patient, but not that we are not. We are not patient for sure.
But the question is, right? Do you think that because we are the modern fan, like back in the day, in the 80s, in the 90s, you could drag shit out because there was literally only one TV show to show up on, no social media for them to, go against each other, that kind of thing. And then some weeks it would just be vignettes. They won't even be there versus each other. Then finally the payoff 8 months later.
Okay, all right, bro. Let's do a comparison. Since MJF and CM Punk had their first ever verbal encounter, right? We've had Big E losing his title.
Yeah.
We've had Winter is Coming have come and gone. Bryan Danielson started a rivalry with Hangman Adam Page and have ended the rivalry with Hangman Adam Page.
That one is the opposite. That one's like something that should have gone on longer, but they ended prematurely. Don't even get me started on that.
Yeah, that's what he said, man. But anyway, but the point I'm trying to make, bro, is that because they had that one match, the Winter is Coming, right?
Yeah.
Then the anticipation was like, okay, we need to have another match really soon, something like that.
Yeah.
But it helped to kind of spread out the series. So I feel like it's okay to have that first match at Chicago, have a small finish, or like MJF somehow escape.
Yep.
And then have like a much more brutal, violent affair at Revolution with a stipulation.
Yeah, so the proper way, build it up, right? As opposed to everything else AEW has done. Oh, first encounter, exploding ring. Okay, no lah. I'm being,
Biased.
hyperbolic there. But you know what I mean? Like the whole pineapple versus inner circle thing. First match, stadium stampede. It's like, huh? You build up, right? Not go the other way, right?
Oh yeah, the entire rivalry, that one is a bit ass backwards. So let's not compare that one.
Okay, so we got that. The other thing of note, obviously, is the AEW Championship, which seems like an afterthought if you think about everything that's happened, right?
I'm hoping that Lance Archer is just a temporary opponent, like maybe just for these next 3 weeks, lah. Then by the time Revolution got a different guy already.
I think that is the thing, because Lance Archer has become this guy that shows up. He's not like a Brock Lesnar that shows up and dominates. He just shows up. Oh, okay, he's going to be here. And did you hear the stipulation?
Texas death match, right?
So you went from having incredible, technically sound, smart matches with Bryan Danielson to Texas deathmatch, garbage match, like basically.
Essentially, they're trying to showcase his range, Hangman's range. He can fight a brawler. He can fight a technical guy. I don't know.
Okay, you know what? I mean, call me old-fashioned, but let him get the basics first. Let him know how to milk the crowd first. Let him learn how to, cut amazing promos against someone who is of like that high level. Talking about Bryan Danielson.
You're talking about Hangman Page or talking about Lance Archer? I think both need the same thing.
No, exactly. That's what I'm saying. He needs to be under the learning tree of a Daniel Bryan for a longer time. I keep going back there. I didn't want them to part ways so quickly. You know what I mean? And now agree. Bryan Danielson is going to move on to a program with Mox, which is like, okay lah, it's like two veterans, two WWE guys basically. Like, okay.
Yeah, it's not gonna be as fresh as the Hangman Page one.
Yeah, and they're not going to build each other. They already have name.
Yeah. One very interesting thing, right? I read that Lance Archer's AEW contract is expiring in February.
I'm surprised that he had a contract, given the amount of time he's been away.
Yeah. I think he signed up in 2020, and like in the 2 years that he's been in the company, I think he's been away from like almost half of it.
Yeah, so this Tony Khan is a very good employer. He's like, you sign contract, but I don't have to be here half the time. Also, okay, it's okay. So you do what you need to do. Park, same thing. Oh, you stay in England. Oh, you relax.
Bro, Park is working remote, bro, for AEW.
Yeah, just cutting like spooky ass promos and shit.
Yeah. But I think, right, if this is the way to get rid of Lance Archer, maybe they give him one final, marquee match, and then like, okay lah, bye-bye. Go back to Texas and you have your death matches there.
Yeah, go back to Japan, you mean?
Yeah, Japan. I think Japan would welcome him back with open arms.
Actually, you know what it is? I bet because of Japan and the COVID restrictions, he can't fly there. That's why he got a lot of time or enough time to spend in US, but his heart is in Japan. It's probably what it is, right?
I think he had his best run in Japan.
Right.
Like, he was a beast there, right?
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, he's still a beast. You put him on TV, give him the right program, he could be like a main event destroyer. But right now, it's just, the guy that just comes by every once in a while. Deathmatch, I challenge you.
Like I mentioned, the biggest, best beast to face Hangman right now in AEW needs to be Miro.
Miro still stuck in limbo. No promos anymore.
Bro, he is the Matrix right now. I tell you.
I think the Wi-Fi, the 5G in limbo or in the Matrix is not good, so he can't even send a promo anymore talking about his beautiful wife and his god and all that nonsense.
I mean, I love it. That is super entertaining. But yeah, I mean, like we need a better opponent for our world champion in AEW.
Yeah. The good and bad. Talking about the bad, main event, Dynamite. Okay, beach break. Adam Cole. Fuck. I can't even Adam Cole comes in like, oh shit, undisputed era. Bobby Fish is there, Kyle O'Reilly. That's it, man. They're gonna take over, man. And he's doing a garbage match with the company mascot.
And he lost. What's up with that?
And he lost. And you know what the crazy thing is? Orange Cassidy looks like he's in better shape than Adam Cole.
Bro, I wanted to bring that out. What happened to Adam Cole? Did he like lose a lot of his body mass in the last 3 months?
I think he's probably either in a very good place or very bad place. So I don't want to speculate, but yeah, I think because he's with his friends and he knows like his friends are there, he's just like play only lah, you know. Whereas Britt Baker, she still has the drive to be a top star, whatever. He was already a top star in NXT. I think he's just in AEW to play, have fun.
It's about drive. It's about power.
Oh god. No. And then The Rock doing his rap. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
you
The
know
thing
what I
about
mean,
Adam Cole.
yeah.
Yeah. The thing about Adam Cole is maybe in NXT he got a lot to prove. You know, he is surrounded by his idols like Shawn Michaels. And there is a chance that he can try to break through and become a star.
Yeah.
But I think AEW is his comfort zone.
Yeah, like I said, he's surrounded by all his friends. Like, you know how it is sometimes when you are with a certain crowd, you're like, relax lah, or I wouldn't say bad influence, but you're so comfortable that you're just like, okay, I don't need to put in effort. But when you're in a different environment where people are constantly pushing you, like you said, he had something to prove. That's why he was at his best. Now he's just, whatever you give me, okay lah, I go and wrestle with Orange Cassidy, fucking get hugged and then thrown off a trust of the stage. It's like, what the hell is that? Looks so dumb. Like,
is it just me, or like even 1 year ago he was in better shape?
Yeah, he was,
right? For sure, right? It's not just me, right? Because you know what's funny?
What?
The thing that made me realize that something's wrong with his body physique now was when you put him side by side with Chris Statlander.
Oh god, no!
Chris Statlander bigger than him, you know.
Bro, Britt Baker is bigger than him. Okay.
Are you serious?
Yes. I mean, let's not be those. I don't want to be those guys. Like, you know, I'm fully cognizant of the fact that we are not like in great shape ourselves. You know, far be it for us to be here to quote unquote body shame somebody, but as a professional wrestler, as somebody who's supposed to give off the vibe that, you know, I'm an athlete, right? He doesn't look it at this point, which is very weird. And like, even though he's small, he used to be like very lean, right?
Yeah.
I don't understand what's going on. Has he been playing too many games on Twitch?
Has he been sitting down too long?
Maybe that's why I got a standing table, bro. I realized I was sitting down too much. I was gaining weight as well.
That could be the secret, right?
I blame video games, is it?
Yes. No, blame sitting down too long.
Okay. Irvin is damn funny. Irvin says, bring Scott Steiner in to roast him. Walao.
Bro, I think Scott Steiner go into the AEW locker room, right? I think everyone kena troll lah.
Oh, no. Okay, if you don't know the reference, Scott Steiner several times has fat shamed like Samoa Joe. And he literally will say, look at this fat guy, so fat. Like, he'll say shit like that. Like, you know.
But what's funny is like, actually like Samoa Joe like legit can wrestle, and like I think they can have a great matchup.
Yeah.
But the fact that he just fat shames him like makes me not want to see that match.
It makes me want to see Samoa Joe beat his ass is what, you know, it makes me want to see. But anyway, yeah, that aside, I'm glad that it's almost as if Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish were paiseh, so they didn't come out. Or they try not to have too much interaction here.
Yeah. Like I don't even mind if like Redragon like literally go out on their own for a bit.
Yeah.
Maybe this is the way. Like I think Adam Cole needs. Because I thought he should have been a world contender, you know. But right now, the way he is, I think he's not even on the level of Orange Cassidy.
No. Okay. Here's the thing. I feel like every WWE signing has this 1 year period where they just fuck around, right?
Yeah.
Miro, best friends again. You notice Miro came in, he kinda put with who? Best friends.
Kip Sabian,
that group, right? They're feuding with the best friends. And now Adam Cole is feuding with the best friends. It's the best friends because it's like initiation. Okay, you want to come into AEW? Come, you fight Orange Cassidy and the best friends first.
So best friends is like a joke. Like once you're fighting agent, you know you're in the joke section of the show lah.
Yeah. So okay, I mean, would you say there's an argument to be made, right? Since wrestling is supposed to be a variety show, so you have some serious, some high flyer spot fest, and then some joke comedy wrestling. So
yeah. But Adam Cole wasn't supposed to be a joke. He was supposed to be a main eventer. So the star attraction signing.
Is it our expectations on Adam Cole then?
But the thing is, our expectation was based on his ability to deliver. So previously he was killing it in the game. Like he was having great promos, he was having great rivalries and feuds. He was always treated like a top star. So the fact that he's not right now, we as fans, we notice lah.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, this is not the Adam Cole that we know.
Do you know what the irony here is?
What?
Originally, the WWE wanted to bring him up to the main roster to be a manager, a mouthpiece, because he can talk, right? He knows how to get heat for Keith Lee. So at least if he had stayed in the WWE and done that, I'm sure he would have gotten into some matches here and there as a manager as well, right? And he's kind of doing the same thing now.
Yeah,
At the same
it's
level.
so weird. It's so weird. But I'm still haven't given up on him yet. I feel like maybe this year could be the year where suddenly he became serious. Suddenly he's like treated like a top star because Hangman Page needs contenders, bro. So like if and I think Adam Cole still has a very good record, and they are playing on this loophole that it's a lights out match, right? So this doesn't count to their win-loss record per se lah.
Yeah, but okay, the win-loss, first of all, the win-loss record is bullshit. Nobody really pays attention to it, right? Second of all, it's all over social media. The hug, Adam Cole's like, no, like, fuck, are you serious? He's hugging you. You're like, you know what I mean? The visual is there. You're never escaping that.
Somebody put out a meme, right, comparing that scene to the ending of Harry Potter and Voldemort. Do you watch the Deathly Hallows?
No, I don't watch. I only watch like the first Harry Potter.
Okay, so what happened was at the end of the movie, right? So both of them were trying to have this final battle, right? So they were on top of the castle, and then Harry Potter like hugged Voldemort. It's like, if I die, you die with me, and then he just jump off. So people compare picture in picture with that scene and the Adam Cole and Orange Cassidy, bro.
Hey, maybe that was what they were going for. Div Royalty says, would you rather Adam Cole be a manager for Britt Baker or for Keith Lee? You know what? Britt Baker doesn't need Adam Cole as a manager. That's the thing. Britt Baker is just fine on her own with the mic. Keith Lee might need a bit of help, so I'd rather him go with Keith Lee.
Funny you mentioned that, because on Beach Break, one thing I remember was that Britt Baker came out and cut like a promo, right? Which absolutely did nothing. Like, it was just a promo that go out and just shit on Cleveland.
Oh yeah, you're right. It didn't advance any feud. Who was she? Did she cut the promo against somebody? Was she calling somebody out?
No, she was just I think showing off the fact that she won some PWI awards. Blah blah blah. Remember that?
I remember. I think it was supposed to be like a random segment to segue into something else, but they didn't have anything in the middle, so they asked her to go out and shit on Cleveland and show off her PWI.
Yeah, it almost felt like a house show promo. Like, it only made sense if like someone came out to interrupt and it's like a new contender. But I was thinking to myself, like, I know she's a good promo, but like, give her something to talk about.
Yeah. Best Booker things, man. Best Booker things. All right. I think we can move on from AEW. Already. Yeah,
let's move on to the thing that everyone wants us to talk about. Come on, let's jump into it.
The Royal Rumble. Okay, the hype, I think, was at an all-time high, and maybe that's what hurt the Rumble at the end of the day. Okay, let's just jump right into it. Seth freaking Rollins, Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship. I mean, the match itself. Let's talk about the match itself. What did you think? Before the match itself, the intro. Yes.
Let's talk about that first.
Okay, the whole thing leading up to it was how Seth is unhinging Roman Reigns by bringing up the whole Shield betrayal, and Roman has never gotten over it, and you know, he doesn't have the Usos to be with him. He doesn't have Paul Heyman anymore. He's all by himself. Can he deal with this stress?
Yes, correct. And the best thing is, I think they're trying to play around the fact that Seth Rollins was always the architect of the Shield, right? So he's always the one playing all these cerebral mind games. Yeah. And I think a lot of people, even in our poll, were rooting for Seth Rollins to perhaps win the Universal title, because they thought like, okay, he's the only guy that can be the chink in Roman's armor. And I like that story that they were trying to tell.
If you listen to the crowd too, I feel like Seth is starting to get a lot of cheers.
Yeah. And if you watch the final SmackDown before this Royal Rumble, right? He came out in this purple Joker suit to cut the promo. Do you remember that?
I think that was done on purpose to draw the connection to, because he's like this like chaos agent, you know, he's like
Yeah. It's starting to kind of win me over, in a sense that like maybe that's Seth Rollins is the best when he's just this unhinged, like full of himself, like you beat me up, I'm just gonna laugh. Like Joker lah.
Yeah. Like, how do you beat someone who's you can't reason with him, you can't intimidate him because he's just fucking crazy.
Yeah, and Roman Reigns plays that self-serious Batman kind of figure.
Yeah.
And it's weird because both of them is like a heel, but it's like, which kind of heel do you prefer?
Yeah. Actually, it's funny because the way they've been portraying Roman, they've almost kind of, for this one match, made him face. Like, you know, like, very poor thing, like he always kind of bullied by Seth Rollins a little bit. You know?
Yeah. Well, okay. This match I watched live. So at the beginning, like Royal Rumble coming out, I was shocked that this was starting off the whole event. I was like, oh shit, Roman Reigns kicking off the show. Interesting. And then suddenly, when the Sierra Hotel, India, Delta, Shield, like the thing happened right live for me.
Yeah.
I saw Roman's face change. Like, holy, what the fuck? And the crowd went crazy. And then when Seth came out in the Shield riot gear, like I thought this was amazing. Like this got me so hyped.
Yeah. I mean, it goes to the whole mind games thing with Seth and Roman Reigns, right? And the Shield and everything. I mean, what would have been better if Dean Ambrose showed up, but of course, you know, that can't happen, unfortunately. What's up? Tovakin, how are you, man? Good afternoons. Good for you. Good to have you here. 恭喜发财 and all that. So we're talking about the Rumble right now. We're starting with the first match. The match itself, I felt it was alright. It's quite standard lah. Nothing really outstanding. But I think maybe it's because the ending just overshadowed everything.
I enjoy like the chemistry they have. Like, of course, it's always there, right?
Yeah.
I enjoyed the little nuances that they played. Like you said, the ending was the biggest talking point coming out of the match because clearly they want to keep Roman strong, right?
Yeah.
And it feels like they're trying to continue the feud, maybe into Elimination Chamber. Maybe that's why they did it the way they did.
Yeah. So he basically hung on the. What is it, like a choke or something?
It's like a guillotine choke.
Yeah, and he wouldn't let go, and then he got disqualified. So maybe they can spin the story like, oh, he meant to do it. He meant to get himself disqualified because he didn't have his Paul Heyman. He didn't have his Usos. And maybe he, had a little bit of doubt. So because the whole story they were painting, well, oh, he just lost control, right?
Yeah. I know Seth has done this before, but I love the Roman Reigns spear into the pedigree. Like,
yeah.
I think that's such an excellent spot. And yeah, you talk about how he was in the guillotine and actually his hand already was going to drop, but it dropped on the rope.
Yeah.
So of course he had to break the count, but he didn't, right?
Yeah.
So I think Seth has a legitimate claim to a rematch for sure. And I like at the end, Roman just wanted to hit out in his frustration and recreated the Shield betrayal chest shot.
Right, to the back, right? Which Seth perpetrated on him. Now he does it and then he actually destroys the chair on Seth's back.
So I like, because WWE doesn't usually give long storyline payoffs. So this was kind of like a full circle moment and I appreciate that as a long time fan.
Yes. Mama Daniel says, but the chamber will be in Saudi. What's wrong with that?
No, what's wrong? You can still have a one-on-one match on the chamber pay-per-view, I mean.
And we all know that in recent times, Saudi media is actually quite stacked. It's like, they will put in a lot of effort. It's no longer an expensive house show anymore.
You know why? I realized, I was reading some shit, right? Apparently, like the Crown Prince wasn't happy because they realized that, WWE trying to take advantage of their money and giving them like glorified house show matches. That's why they've been starting to demand like more things happen, like title changes, proper match cards. If not, it would just been a legend show. Yeah,
exactly, right? Divaroti brings up a very good point. They destroyed the table, the Shield bomb.
Yeah, Seth Rollins did the Shield bomb by himself, right?
Shouldn't there have been a DQ? If you think about it, like,
that was not a DQ, and then the rope break was a DQ.
Right. It's one of those things like, oops, somebody wasn't thinking.
Okay, maybe this is WWE's logic. If you hit and crash someone through something, it's not a DQ. But if you use something to crash onto someone, then it's a DQ.
Okay, and if you don't listen to the instructions of the referee, it's a DQ.
Yeah, barricade, every time they always break someone through the barricade. In my mind, it's like, isn't that a DQ? But always happens in like all these like main event matches.
Right. Yeah. So it is what it is, lah. I kind of wasn't surprised as much as, like in my heart now, all of a sudden, like Seth Rollins has kind of won me over, and I wanted him to win. It's like, okay, this makes sense. And once you see the rest of the Rumble, it makes perfect sense. Now everything is falling into place, right? Hate it or love it, the predictability makes sense going towards WrestleMania. So anything else you want to add before we move on?
I do want to see a rematch between the two. I think they can take it up a notch. And now that, of course, later on we'll talk about the Roman Reigns interference, right? But I feel like Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns, it's not over yet, but I kind of want to get Seth Rollins out of SmackDown and back to Raw because they have a new champion over there.
Yeah, let's not forget that they are separate brands. So this whole thing, like, kind of makes no sense if you look at it on the face, you know?
Yeah. Like, do you realize both World Championship matches feature inter-branded wrestlers?
Yeah, and it's not even Survivor Series. Hey, Shadow, how are you, man? Shadow says WWE rules more chin-chai than kids' playground soccer. What, if WWE is chin-chai with their rules, then what is AEW?
Bro. Don't go so deep, bro. Don't go so deep, bro.
AEW is like, hey, anything goes. The Chaos Realm. Hello. Okay, here we go. The Women's Royal Rumble. All right. Wow. What can I say about this botch fest? Look, man. First out, Sasha Banks' Sailor Moon outfit. I never watched Sailor Moon, so I don't know. Did you think it was cute?
I mean, it was a good start to my morning, seeing that, but but the thing is, right, I'm very disappointed in Sasha Banks' performance in the Rumble. So we got to talk about that.
Bro, a lot of people's performances were very disappointing in the Rumble, don't you think? I feel like the Rumble was... Okay, both the women's and the men's Royal Rumble felt like another match that just had to happen. And that's it. I think the problem is right now, right? There are no... And we talked about this over and over again. Other than the main event storylines, there's no real other storylines that people care about, and thus couldn't really play out in the Rumble. Some of them did, but they were just not like things we give a shit about.
I think a lot of the wrestlers were cold.
Yeah,
not a lot of momentum.
My God, they were ice cold. They weren't stone cold. They were ice cold. And the people they brought back, they barely featured. It's like, okay, we give you a payday. You spend like literally 5 minutes in the ring doing nothing, and then you go out. Like,
yeah, I mean, best example, let's talk about number 1 and 2. When Melina came out, I was like, Melina, come on, give her a good match.
Yeah. And then, okay, my question is, did she botch something? Was she supposed to have done something? Like when she got thrown over and then she did a split or something, but like, I don't know if she botched or they literally had nothing to do with her.
I don't know whether it was like a split off. Were you trying to do a split off because the two girls started doing splits for no reason?
Yeah, it was a split off, but like, why was she eliminated so fast?
Yeah, because she didn't even throw a hand. She didn't even make any move. No, just got picked up, thrown, done.
Yeah, well, I'm like, what the hell is this? What's the point of bringing her back if she was going to do absolutely nothing? Unless maybe she was not in the right shape to do it, and then she didn't want to do it, or what?
I mean, she did look alright. I mean, for her age, and of course, how can Melina, we know, can perform in the ring. She's athletic, she can do stuff. So why is she having a shorter time than someone like Cameron?
Right. And I mean, Cameron, like, okay, we all know why Cameron was there. It was to serve the storyline purpose of Naomi versus Sonya Deville, which is still going on. We still don't know why they're fighting. I'm like, what the okay. Hang on. Tamina comes out. Okay, yeah, who cares? Tamina's always there, like, what? Tamina, yeah, right? Like, Kelly shows up, barely does anything, still looks hot. Okay, great. Leah, she got a 3-second win, nobody cares. Liv Morgan, I'm sorry, but Liv Morgan is like, she's cold as well after the Becky Lynch thing. And this is nothing to do with Becky. Like, people are gonna say, Becky should have been the one to bring her up. Not if you have shit writing.
The problem is, right, okay, Sasha Banks and Liv Morgan featured prominently on television right now. Supposed to have like decent runs in the Royal Rumble, right? Sasha Banks kena eliminated by a one-time Zelina Vega for no reason. Liv Morgan spent 37 minutes in the Rumble, which is okay, quite not bad. But they kena eliminated by the Bella twins. What is the payoff? Is unless you're gonna have a match after that, but like that is absolutely no reason why your legend is killing off your young girl.
Bro, see, that's the thing. I feel like basically there was no story in any of this. It's just, okay, go out there, perform. When it's your time to go out, you just get eliminated. Just find somebody who's nearby. Bella, you're next to me, eliminate me, and then go out. You know, like it felt very inconsequential, a lot of it.
I felt like the storyline was like if they had so much legends and there was this whole like new generation versus old generation, and maybe the new generation like trying to team up, and then the women from the new generation beats them. Like that, at least there's a thread that runs through the Rumble, right?
Yeah.
It felt so random.
Okay, even Sarah Logan showing up and rejoining Liv Morgan, like they had a moment where they looked at each other. Oh my god! Oh my god! And then nothing happened after that. There was no
because she got eliminated right after that.
Yeah, so it's like, what? Irvin says Bella Twins versus Riot Squad without Ruby Riot. That would be funny.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so, okay, Michelle McCool, Ivory, another one.
Coming back with her right to censor team though.
Yeah, come in. Okay, so every Rumble needs a joke moment. I guess that was your joke moment, right?
She sounded a lot like Vicky Guerrero though in that segment.
Yeah. Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley. Also, not great performances. Like, they were there, they lasted a while, but nothing really spectacular. I mean, freaking Rhea Ripley is still trying to deal with Nikki ASH.
Yeah, they had a better performance last year for sure. Okay, one thing about Nikki ASH, I kind of like that whole interaction with Molly. I mean, that was bound to happen lah. Old superhero versus new superhero, right?
Yeah, but like poor Molly, really, and I think that's the case with all these legends coming back, right? Like these surprise legends, they came in literally just for one spot and then bye.
The best one, I mean, hands down was Lita lah. Lita did the most lah for a legend, right?
I mean, the whole rumor is that she's going to go for one last run, going up to WrestleMania, right? So, and I think was it Charlotte who eliminated Lita? So
yes, Charlotte it was.
It makes sense moving forward to WrestleMania that Lita and Charlotte, they already had the interactions and stuff like that. So that makes sense, yeah?
Yeah, for sure. But then if Lita and Charlotte is already tied up, you know what that means?
I mean, it's quite obvious, right? Like, okay. Ronda Rousey at number 28. Yeah, okay, so Ronda Rousey comes out. It's like, whoa, badass. 4 months after pregnancy, right? Comes in. She's basically the Brock Lesnar of the women's division, you know?
Yeah, it's essentially a UFC 2010 situation going on.
Yeah.
Okay, Ronda Rousey coming back was it was rumored, heavily rumored. People were hearing about it. Doesn't take away from the great reaction that she got.
Yep.
You know, when she came to the Rumble. My only issue was when she came in at 28, right? It felt like it affected Shotzi and Shayna Baszler after that.
Shotzi, I'm just waiting for Shotzi. Blackheart is all elite. Like, honestly,
to get released.
Yeah, she's done absolutely nothing since her little program with Sasha Banks, which fell flat on its face, by the way.
Yeah. The thing about Shotzi is I think she went up to the main roster too soon.
Yeah. Nothing she's done has hit at all. So yeah, it's
Tegan Knox gone.
Yeah.
No idea what the hell happened to her.
Oh, Tegan Knox was released like quite a while ago, right?
She was released. Oh, she was released. Okay.
Okay, the ones that didn't show up, there a lot of people were like, "What the hell?" Bailey still rehabbing her leg.
Yeah,
was it?
Unfortunately, yeah, she was my pick, but yeah, I guess she didn't.
Alexa Bliss still in therapy.
Yeah, what's up with that, Alex?
If she's ready, the fact that the fact that she wasn't used here, like I think if Alexa Bliss came in, won this, it would have been huge. There would have been a huge pop,
Alexa at 30 would have been great.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, you're right. Even though Ronda coming out and it's like, whoa, it was very obvious already when Ronda came out. It's like she has to win. She's not going to come in here and lose.
Yeah, maybe that's the whole point, right?
Yeah,
she wouldn't even bother coming back if she's not going to win. Right?
Exactly. No Asuka as well. Irvin brings up. Yeah, another one.
Asuka. I wanted that. You know what? I would have really loved an NXT appearance, like a Io Shirai, like a Raquel Gonzalez, that would have padded out the roster much better.
Bro, when you watch this Rumble, right, it was so obvious that their women's division is so thin on the main roster. If you padded it out with NXT stars, at least something. Okay, come, yes, show me a man. Even, okay, bring in Mandy Rose. Mandy, for old time's sake.
Come on, Mandy, man.
Right? Yeah, bring in a Raquel, bring in Io, you're absolutely right. Even a Cora Jade or Gigi Dolan or anybody, just to highlight the fact that you have these young up-and-comers. No, cannot. NXT cannot show up on Rumble. Like, what the why?
There was Xia Li, right? Xia Li came in, right?
Oh, Xia Li. No, she wasn't even in the Rumble. That's the other one.
Shit.
There was no Xia Li, who we are actively trying to push, maybe, kind of. But you got Alicia Fox, you got Summer Rae, who absolutely did. I mean, it was nice to see them back, but they did nothing of note.
Summer Rae apparently was called a legend going into the match. Damn funny, sir. Okay.
And then Cameron came back. Yeah, it's like, oh, okay, Funkadelics. Like I wasn't watching during that whole era.
Funkadactyls, yeah.
What did I say? Funkadelic?
Funkadelics.
no, I didn't say Funkadelics.
You said, okay, never mind.
Funkadactyls, right? So I get it. But then they only brought her back to fuck with Naomi and the never-ending feud of Sonya Deville versus Naomi. Give me a reason. Yeah, show me a scene 5 months ago where Naomi farted in in Sonya Deville's direction or something. Explain me why they hate each other or why Sonya Deville hates her.
Okay, the thing I like about Rumble is that when you have unexpected interaction. So I enjoyed a bit of Shayna and Rousey looking at each other.
Yeah.
I like even though it was super brief, like Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan looking at each other was nice. Mickie James had like maybe a cup of coffee with Lita, but I mean, I still appreciated it. But those are the things that would have made the Rumble much more special if they played it up longer, you know?
Yeah. So everything just felt like, we talk about, it was just a match that they had to do. There was no story. There was no main thread. Like you talk about the best Rumble of the recent times, 2020, the story of 3 Rumbles, right?
Yeah, that was amazing, man.
Yeah, because it was like one story, Brock Lesnar, then after that it was Drew, and then Edge's return, that kind of thing. It was this beautiful sort of
well-told story.
Yeah, this is just a match. This is the very definition of Rumble match. That's it.
It felt like a very long battle royal.
Yeah, and the middle part was damn draggy.
Yeah, once Ronda came out, I was like, okay, let's wrap it up. Not that I don't mind. I don't mind Ronda winning, but the thing is, what version of Ronda are we getting? Because it wasn't made clear whether she was a heel or a face.
I think though, just by reaction and the return, right, she would immediately be a face, and the fact that her fellow just gave birth superstar is a heel, it makes sense. And now they can go off this whole, we both just had children, we're both back and wrestling in the main event of WrestleMania. I think that's the storyline they're going for.
So is it safe to say super early WrestleMania predictions, Ronda versus Becky for the Raw Women's title, Charlotte versus Lita for the SmackDown Women's title?
I can almost guarantee that because both matches are, high profile matches.
Yep.
But you know what the sad thing is? There's not a new star in sight. They're all relying on old stars.
But I would argue, and I think you would agree, that the new stars are not ready. Or maybe it's a failure of WWE that they can't push a new star.
We've been talking about that for the past weeks. They have not been able to build a new, other than Roman Reigns, but it can be argued that Roman has been there for a while and he's been pushed for a very long time already, right?
I mean, they for the women, they tried to push Liv Morgan, but clearly you're not high on her.
No. I mean, I love the look, but that's it. She's just a look at this point, right? And they tried to push the Doudrop, which is the next match, and my God, the crowd was dead for this match.
Yeah. Apparently, do you hear about the story of what was happening?
Yeah, so apparently, they had to drag the match out because one of the WrestleMania sign got lit on fire.
Thanks to the pyrotechnics, I guess, from Ronda Rousey's entrance.
You know what funny. It is? The WrestleMania sign watched the Women's Rumble and went, fuck this Rumble, and then set itself on fire. I don't want to have anything to do with this.
Okay, I mean, they were battling I guess, an uphill battle, trying to win over the crowd after the Women's Rumble. The thing is, Becky and Dewdrop doesn't feel like a Rumble-worthy match. I think even Becky versus Liv Morgan would have felt bigger.
This felt like a Raw match, if anything. And, you know, it's like... I think the way Dewdrop has been handled from the start she was dead on arrival. No, just the name Dewdrop, what? Look, have her go on Raw and fucking say, you know what, Dewdrop was some bullshit that Eva Marie put on me. My name is Piper Niven. I'm here to fuck shit up. You know?
Yep. I would have preferred that much better.
Yeah.
And but that doesn't take away. Dewdrop, I think, is a great performer for her size. Like. She uses her size really, really well. Yeah. Like when you see Dewdrop performing, right? I don't think she's gonna botch herself like how Nia Jax would. You get what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, this past Raw, remember when she botched the finish to the tag match?
Botched the finish in terms of decision making, but not in terms of injuring her opponents, right?
Yeah.
So like I feel that and she has a great, very unique look. You know, people will see her, she stands out from the rest of the girls.
Yeah.
So I think she has a place, but was pushing her to the top of the card the right move? Was it too early? I don't know.
Yeah, it's just bad booking, bad creative. I keep bringing it up, but this is the problem. Like, you can have a superstar, you can have a Stone Cold versus a Just Incredible. It's not a main event. You know what I mean? And that's what it felt like.
You know, I tell you what, if you weren't gonna do shit with Bianca Belair in the Rumble, should have just given her the title match with Becky Lynch.
Right? Yeah. Bianca was there. That's about it. Like, I don't know why this year they really just didn't highlight anybody. Like, did anybody stand out to you this year's Rumble?
Lita towards the end which is sad
So okay, yeah, like I said, this was just all a vehicle to promote one or two, Lita and ultimately Ronda Rousey. You know, I would love it if now that Ronda is here and now that Shayna is on the main, I wasn't gonna say main menu, is on the main roster. Hungry, bro. Now that Shayna is also on the main roster, right? Like, maybe have them interact with each other so that Ronda gives Shayna the rub, because I think we all agree that Shayna deserves some sort of like a main event push or upper mid-card push at least. Right?
Yeah, for sure. And the thing is, when Shayna came out at number 30, right? If that happened in 2020, the crowd would have gone crazy, man. Like,
bro, the crowd did. Remember that? I forgot which year. The one that Charlotte won, that everyone thought Shayna was gonna win.
2020 lah.
Like, the crowd popped for Shayna. They wanted Shayna to win.
Yeah, but that's the problem. The problem with WWE is they can't sustain momentum in their wrestlers. Like, 2 years on, Shayna.
Wow, she comes out at 30. It's like, oh, okay. I mean, those who know, like, oh, Shayna and Ronda, like, hey, you know. But beyond that, you're right. I think the most casuals are like, oh, okay, whatever.
Yeah, and I think that's an indictment of, again, WWE. They can't seem to maintain the star power of their stars lah.
Or maintain or elevate. It's just like those who become stars, like Wah Hing by luck man.
Yes, correct. And that's the thing. Like the it's almost as if they have forgotten the formula on how to build a star. Like, that's the whole point of the Royal Rumble. You build a new star at the start of the Royal Rumble, the road to WrestleMania. Then that's how you elevate. So every year, that's the time to build stars.
Yeah. I think especially with the way WWE is going, I'm a WWE fan through and through, you know, from back in the day. But I see this becoming more of the case because they keep relying on the old stars. And you can see with everything that they're doing, like, they have that initiative where they are trying to rope in athletes from other sports to train, and they'll pay you to train as a WWE superstar, you know, that kind of thing. It's really like, now they're looking at it as we have the brand name, we just need to bring in athletes once in a while. If we make one breakout star, great. But beyond that, it's like okay, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but freaking bringing back Bad Bunny for the Rumble, it's another play for a name, you know? It's like, okay, you could have highlighted Apollo Crews, who was not in the Rumble. You could have highlighted Finn Balor,
who is not on the Rumble.
Bro, oh my God. Okay, we haven't gotten the men's event, and there was another one who was also a waste of a spot as well, but we'll get to that in a bit. So, speaking of Becky Lynch, did you watch the Stone Cold podcast with Becky Lynch?
I did. I watched it the night before the Rumble itself.
Doesn't Becky seem like the sweetest person?
Yeah, I mean, I've always loved her character. I've always thought she was like this super cool chick when I watched Up Up Down Down. Because I think she was in 2016. That was when she was still new in the main roster, right?
Yeah.
And she just came off so lovable and sweet. And she plays video games and she's hot. So it's like, wow, perfect package.
Yeah, Seth Rollins really hit the jack. No wonder he every day laugh.
I don't give a shit. I'm just going to laugh my way through the pain when I'm going to go home to Becky Lynch. I mean, why not?
Yeah, and they have a bus where they drive around with their child. I mean, how adorable is that?
Yeah, I think it's like it's like a family adventure, bro.
Yeah, a road trip all around the US, perform, and then like, wow, hey, that's the life, man. Anyway, okay, so Becky Lynch beat Doudrop. She needs to move on, and unfortunately, there's nobody, being elevated. Maybe like at WrestleMania, you get like a women's rumble, like what would they call that? The over the top rope battle royale.
Yeah, the women's battle royal, like. Okay, when I was watching the Stone Cold interview with Becky, right, one thing that caught my attention was I realized that Becky didn't enjoy being the man as much as she enjoyed her initial heel run. Do you get that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, she said it right, because it's easier to play heel because you don't have the pressure of getting people to like you. You just be a dick, be yourself, or just the worst parts of yourself, and there's a lot less pressure in that.
Yeah, and then when she became the man, I think she was so fixated on having that main event at WrestleMania moment that I think she overthink a lot of things.
Yeah.
I feel like this version of Becky right now that she's a heel, she's embraced being a heel. She didn't get a chance to be a true heel because the fans love her so much, right?
You can tell that she's having fun. And like both her and Seth are just going out there and having fun, and that's when the best work is done, when you're just out there being yourself. And it takes a while, it's a process, obviously, right? Like Roman Reigns is another example of someone who's just found himself and he's just out there being the best version of that.
Yeah, so I think WWE needs to allow their performers to reach that level.
But they can't because of the scripted promo. We are in the era where everything's like, okay, you go and memorize this. And that's why that's probably why a lot of the promos, a lot of these superstars, you can't connect with because they're just reading words.
I agree, but there's one great point that Becky brought up as well. She said that sometimes she has a lot of input in her promos. Sometimes she's given something, but she decides how she wants to use it according to her voice. How does this make sense for her and her voice?
But also, if a line sounds out of place, well, it was probably because it's out of place. It's written for her, So she did admit in a way as well that sometimes you have to read the line because they want you to say this. And it doesn't help people like a Liv Morgan, who is not the greatest at, cutting a promo. You give her a scripted promo, no wonder she sounds so stiff and fake.
Yeah, and she also talk about how sometimes you have to choose which heel to die on, what is worth fighting for and what is not. So there's a lot of give and take right there for the performers.
It's very much a corporate culture. Anyone who's worked for a big corporation, I mean, like I do as well. Like sometimes there are things that you want to fight for, and sometimes they're like, okay, I'm not going to die on this hill because I'm just wasting my energy. And I think that because of the structure of the WWE, it is such a corporate thing. Like it's no longer a boys' club where you can just go into Vince's office. Hey, Vince, can I do this? Okay, Whereas, on the opposite end of the spectrum, it's AEW, where anything goes. It's like, Tony Khan, can I go and play Masa with my friends? Okay, can. Anything also can. Have 10,000 table matches. Yeah,
that's the thing. Like, if you talk about corporate structure, right? If, say, for example, the listeners know that we both kind of work in like a same organization, but I feel like you are the main roster. Where I work for, my Wonderwall is like Triple H's NXT. We are like on an island of our own, bro.
Right. Yeah, we never to touch, never to interact.
Yeah, but once we get found out, I'll die. I'll be as miserable
so
as
what are you saying? Are you saying that the podcast is the Forbidden Door?
The podcast is the Forbidden Door, bro.
Bro, we should rename the podcast to the Forbidden. Hey, that's a great name for a wrestling podcast. The Forbidden Door.
Yeah, that would be awesome, man. But I think for that to happen, I think we need to fight a lot of copyright lawsuits. I don't know whether people will trademark that shit or not.
Actually, I wonder if there is something out there wrestling related called the Forbidden Door. I think that's a great name.
Yeah, but the thing is, Forbidden Door as a concept only started very recently, like in the last year. Chris Jericho probably was the one that started it. So
anybody in chat, you know of anything wrestling related that's called the Forbidden Door? I bet there's a podcast out there actually called the Forbidden Door that just started.
I think a simple Google check might have given us a clue if that was true.
Exactly.
Yeah. So the next match is the WWE Championship, right?
Yeah, Bobby Lashley with MVP versus Brock Lesnar with Paul Heyman. Okay, here we go. Two behemoths. I mean, they played it as they would, two giant, unstoppable forces of nature. Honestly though, the best thing of Royal Rumble might have been the promo package before this match. The iron, the forge,
forging iron, all
like shit. It's almost as if they went to NFL films. Okay, you all do this video. Like this video package was on a completely different level.
Yeah, bro, it felt like a UFC fight.
Yeah.
Like I think they really took inspiration from those Road to UFC preview shows, lah.
Yep. Match itself, I mean, what can I say?
You know what to expect from the two of them, right? Come on.
I wouldn't say it was great, but it also wasn't bad. It was like, I don't think neither one of them looked bad in this, lah.
It felt like a spectacle. Like it felt like, I'm not saying it was Rock Hogan by any means, but what I meant is like the crowd popped for a single German suplex.
Yeah, it was like a Hogan Ultimate Warrior, but with better wrestling.
Yeah. Okay, one thing I appreciate is actually kind of Brock gave Bobby a huge rub. Like he stole for him, and he let Bobby like recover from his suplexes. It's not as if like a complete score. So I appreciated that.
Yeah. And then I think also what it is too is because these two have MMA backgrounds. Yep. So it's like, two quote unquote legit fighters, which unfortunately is an indictment on the industry itself, because it's like, everyone is just performer, but these two are fighters. Do you see what I'm saying? Do you see where I'm going with this?
It's like they're shitting on their own industry like that.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it doesn't help that AEW you have like, little school kids and housewife looking men in main events.
If you take it back to the Attitude Era, right? Like legitimate fighters will be someone like Ken Shamrock, for example, right?
Yeah.
But then you have actual pro wrestlers like Chris Benoit, Eddie Guerrero. They are still given the respect.
Yep.
So I feel like just because you're a fighter doesn't mean that you're necessarily a great fighter. It shouldn't be the selling point. You should still be able to wrestle.
Yeah. And these two can lah. So let's talk about the finish. The big swerve. Paul Heyman was working with Roman Reigns this entire time. I mean, we kind of knew that was happening. It was gonna happen in day one, I think. It was either gonna happen in day one here or at WrestleMania itself. But I guess they decided to do it here lah.
Yeah. So Paul Heyman essentially swerved both of them. Or was it the initial master plan all along to pretend to swerve Roman Reigns to go to Brock Lesnar?
Yeah, I think that was it. That's probably what they will reveal, on SmackDown. So we must watch SmackDown this week, where he's going to be like, I was working with Roman Reigns this whole time to gain your confidence, blah, blah, blah. That leads us to, main event of WrestleMania. It's like, but how will Brock possibly get to Roman Reigns? It's like, mama, you just gave away the ending of the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Okay, was there any other way out of this?
There was. Brock literally could have just challenged Roman Reigns any other way.
Yeah.
You could still have given a new winner to the Royal Rumble, and that guy could have challenged Bobby Lashley. It still would have led to the same permutations.
How about Elimination Chamber? Have him win the chamber and a title shot.
Yeah. I feel like the problem was the event was going okay.
Yeah.
But after Brock lost, I just felt like, oh shit, the whole Royal Rumble, if it's just going to lead to Brock returning again, it's just going to waste the entire purpose of the Rumble.
Yeah. And it almost mirrors the Women's Royal Rumble if you think about it. Like the whole Rumble was just, we had one big ass hour-long match just for one person.
Yeah. I love Roman versus Lesnar for WrestleMania. Like that's good. but obviously the plan. I'm not against it. It's a bit predictable. We know that Paul Heyman is gonna be the master strategist behind all of it. I'm okay with that because even though it's predictable, it's the kind of entertainment that they can still deliver in spite of knowing what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
My issue is that because they've put so much focus on Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, this entire storyline, it is affecting the ability of WWE to put over new stars.
And that's exactly it. It goes back to this very idea of who is the next big... We can't tell because, like as we'll see in the men's rumble as well, same problem with the women's rumble. Not a lot of people had a good showing or, had the shine. Or maybe the wrong people got the shine, right?
I saw what Div Royalty said and I thought that's like the perfect summation. It's technically both Rumble winners are part-timers and it's so wasteful.
Yeah. Well, okay. It's not wasteful if the part-timer can put somebody over. For example, like I'm very hopeful, I pray to the wrestling gods, i.e. Vince McMahon, that Ronda Rousey winning the Rumble means that Shayna Baszler gets a push, gets a shine, gets to, the rub along the way. Even though Shayna won't be the main person going up against Becky Lynch, maybe you can have Shayna versus Becky before Ronda versus Becky. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I hope that if so-called Ronda is coming back to Raw regularly, they will have interactions with Shayna. Can you imagine a tag team match?
Oh, but
Shayna and Becky. So I guess Shayna has to turn face, for that to happen. Versus Becky and whoever it is that's pairing up with a new drop, maybe.
Bro. Listen to this.
Okay.
Saudi Mania. Big money is on the line, right? Because it's Saudi Mania. Two of the horsewomen versus two of the horsewomen.
Charlotte and
Becky
together.
I mean, we know they have animosity and that makes the match even more intriguing, does it not? Charlotte and Becky versus Ronda and Shayna. Like, Shayna seems like the odd one out. If you think about it, because she wasn't in that main event at WrestleMania, but that could be one for the wrestling fans. I know it's not going to happen. I know
it
it's not.
builds somebody else up,
It definitely does. Unfortunately, we can't do the 4 horsewomen of MMA versus 4 horsewomen of WWE because aren't 2 of the Marina... Oh dear. Oh my god, we have our first leg spike of the day. Wow. Okay, not bad. We lasted this long.
Oh, there's a leg spike.
Yeah. Surprising.
I'm surprised.
Yeah, right. Well,
because I have the cable, right?
Yeah. It happens. Internet things. Anyway, okay. Irvin says, to be fair, when Austin was on top, the Rumbles were kind of a done deal as well. Yes, I agree with that, actually. It was like, okay, Austin is going to win the Rumble again. So, yeah.
When you were living through it, right, and knowing that Austin was in the Rumble, did it make you feel like, okay, there's no point in being in the Rumble? Or like you still was interested?
No, it felt, I mean, the Rumble itself is always fun. And in the Attitude Era as well, there was a lot of fun stuff in between. I don't know why this one just felt like,
I get it. I think they didn't do a good job keeping us entertained with things other than the main storyline.
Yeah, I'm going to go back. Like, I feel like I've gone back to this a billion times. The mid-card to the jobbers all have nothing that stands out. That's why during the Rumble match itself, they can do moves here and there. It's like, oh, who cares? Dolph Ziggler is on the edge of being eliminated. Oh, I don't give a shit. Like, even though I love Dolph Ziggler as a performer, it's like everything that's happened. Even when Drew was there, I guess, no, we can't move on to the men's Royal Rumble. I'm getting worked up, bro. I'm getting worked up.
No, we can jump onto it because I think we've already wrapped up Lashley versus Lesnar.
When that match finished, right? Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar. I was like, all right, it's time for the men's Royal Rumble. I'm ready. I forgot that Edge and Beth versus Miz and Maurice was still a match.
Yeah. Anyway, did we talk about Roman Reigns coming in and spearing and costing Brock Lesnar? So that is the reason, right?
Yeah. So that's the reason. And then Paul Heyman gives Roman Reigns the belt. He whacks Brock. Oh, revenge. Oh, swerve. Yeah. So that was the big swerve, right? Okay.
In a weird way, I kind of thought that Miz and Maurice and all that, right? The entire mixed tag team should have been a kickoff show, yeah.
Which is sad because, okay, you know what? They should have saved this for WrestleMania. And not... This Rumble just felt bloated and slow.
Yeah,
at moments.
Yeah, I wouldn't even mind that this being the opening match, honestly.
Yeah.
It would have started the crowd off hot.
Yeah.
Okay, just a couple of things about this match. I actually appreciate how good Maurice looked.
Yeah,
Like in terms of performance. I mean, she looks great, of course.
Yeah.
But she did like a Maurice Carrana, I guess.
I think everyone look. The problem is, it's been a long pay-per-view. Like this one was straight up 4 hours, was it not?
Yes, 4 hours.
Yeah,
yes.
this could
One
have
of
been
the longer ones.
This could have been on night 1 of WrestleMania or night 2 of WrestleMania, because now they've burned this card already. They can't use it, which is wasted, because this at least is an attraction match, right? It just felt like, okay, we booked it and now it's too late to pull out, so we're gonna have the match, and the crowd was tired. I was tired by this point.
Yeah. I didn't mind that they had the match now. Like, get it out of the way. I think the whole point of this entire match was to give Edge and Beth Phoenix their first ever tag team together, and they celebrated with their kids after that. So yeah, sure.
Why not do it at WrestleMania? That's bigger. But now it's an afterthought in the Rumble.
Problem is they really pulled the trigger on this Miz and Edge rivalry so early on.
So what is Edge going to do at WrestleMania?
Fight AJ Styles.
Ooh. Oh, speaking of AJ Styles, here we go then. Royal Rumble. Men's Royal Rumble. Number 1 entrant, AJ Styles. Okay.
Honestly, that gave me a bit of high hopes. A bit of hopes. I was like, oh shit, AJ Styles gonna have the whole Iron Man thing. And he did the Shawn Michaels pose. Do you see?
Yes, because I mean that was like a nod, like okay, I'm going to go all the way, because Shawn Michaels won at number 1.
Yeah, and I love that. And I love that because you of course know the comparison between AJ and Shawn. So I was thinking to myself like, oh hell yeah, like this could be AJ's year. And then number 2 came out, and I talk about Royal Rumble flops, right? Shinsuke Nakamura.
So much potential for the New Japan thing. Ooh, dream match. And yeah, go watch our Royal Rumble flops at WrestleMania video that we posted on our YouTube page. But I mean, here they just had a moment. It was all right, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with the chat, bro. I agree with Toverkin. All like, I thought AJ should have won. I felt like AJ was perfect in the sense that he has nothing going on for him.
Yep.
It would be a great excuse for him to go back into the main event scene.
Well, there's still Elimination Chamber, so there's still like, I'm going to assume that whoever wins Elimination Chamber gets a shot at Bobby Lashley, right?
Yep. So I feel like, okay, never mind. The first 10 entrants was like, yeah, it was okay. But AJ was the main guy at that point in time. I
assume that they would let Austin Theory lasts a bit longer, actually, given how much they are pushing Austin Theory.
Yeah, Austin Theory, I think he entered at one of the early numbers, right?
Yeah, at number 3, in fact.
Yeah, so he was only number 3. So I felt like, okay, is he going to have like a sustained push? But he felt like a rookie there inside the ring.
Why do you say that?
No, when I say that, because I felt like the way he was treated, he wasn't going to have an Iron Man performance, No, he was just going to...
But he is a rookie, and like seeing him in there, actually, I felt his facials were great. That's a weird thing to say. He's a prodigy, and everyone can see that, right?
Yeah.
In the Rumble, he did not feel out of place like some of these other people who are going to show up later. Given the fact that he's so young and he's a rookie, he did great. So I actually, as a takeaway, I feel like he did pretty well in this Rumble.
So what I meant was that he felt like he was treated like a rookie, as opposed to like, I thought WWE was gonna have this crazy push where he's gonna like go to the final 4.
Right.
You know what I mean? Given like the storyline that they were trying to say.
Yeah.
But I love him. I love his performances. The way that was the best. Version of Johnny Gargano.
I mean,
Austin Theory. Yeah.
AJ versus Theory on Raw was so good, says Irvin. Yeah, I mean, like Austin Theory he's really the prodigy. I do not use that term lightly, but when you see him, like given his experience with somebody with so much experience, not only did he hang in there, I think he did better than AJ on Raw. The small things he does. He's like Randy Orton, but with experience.
Yeah. He has so much similarities to Randy Orton, in my opinion. A 2020 version of Randy Orton. Like Randy Orton back in his day, he was like super athletically gifted, smooth in the ring, a natural, right? This is like a faster, more athletic version of Randy Orton,
leveled up.
which is crazy to think lah.
Irvin says Cornette thinks he's better than Hangman already. You know what? I would actually agree with that.
Interesting.
Like he's not at the main level, but when you see them as performers, like
I think he can hang with Hangman.
I think he's above Hangman.
Yeah. Crazy thing to think, but Austin Theory is the same age as Hook.
Yes. Yeah.
So are you saying the two prodigies is Hook and Austin Theory?
The problem is now that they see him being like this, like prodigy, right? Put him with Vince McMahon.
Yeah. Do you think that Vince McMahon is killing his buzz as opposed to helping him?
I honestly, I don't know. Maybe, okay, you know what would be the ultimate dastardly heel thing to do for Austin Theory?
What?
Finally, he gets sick of this old man trying to tell him what to do, and he fucks up Vince McMahon.
He beats up an old man on television?
And becomes the most hated heel? Maybe?
Bro, you know, elderly abuse is really looked down upon. I think in Singapore, he'll be a total heel, bro.
What do you mean? Everywhere around the world, he should be a heel. That's the point. To get like outraged. But then again, people might be like, yay, finally this association with Vince is gone.
Oh my god, people will be like, yay, Vince McMahon's gonna die. Yes.
So
and
bad.
the ends of Austin Theory, okay.
Okay, Robert Roode came in and lasted for less than a minute. Like, fuck man. Like Robert Roode, you know.
And his history with AJ Styles is so deep. The Impact Wrestling history. I just wish they had more respect for every wrestler's history, because they could have told so many great stories.
I want to know who he pissed off in the writer's room. Like he must have pissed off somebody for him to be like a jobber, like complete jobber.
He just entered the main roster a bit too old. Like maybe they didn't put in much effort in terms of pushing him because he was already a veteran at that point.
Sure, okay, then use him in a veteran status to. I guess you can say they are doing that by having him job to everybody.
Yeah. You know, it would have been great, right? Like the first 10 wrestlers, right? All got history with AJ Styles.
Well,
yeah,
Shinsuke,
kind of.
Theory, Robert. Okay, Rich Holland was at number 5. Meh. Oh, Rich Holland is another one who has a lot of potential but didn't really stand out here.
He looks good, lah. I mean, I think he's in a great spot where he's working with Sheamus, Cesaro, like. But I think, like you said, like he needs some seasoning, lah.
Yeah, a lot of seasoning. Cesaro, by the way, not in the Rumble. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, another weird decision.
Yeah. Montez Ford. Okay, I thought Montez Ford would get a lot of more highlight reel stuff.
Yeah, more hype, right?
Yeah. Let's see. Damian Priest was not bad in the Rumble. I think he had a few moments.
Yeah, Damian Priest was good. You know, did Damian Priest manage? I can't remember. Did he manage to have any interactions with Bad Bunny, or was he eliminated by then?
No, he was eliminated by then.
Such a shame, though. He could have had that connection there.
Yeah, there are certain parts where they're like, hey, why didn't they make a connection? And then there are certain entrants where it's obvious they are there to, like for example, Sami Zayn joining Knoxville right next to each other, back to back.
Yeah.
Oh, by luck, they have a program, and by luck, they are numbers 8 and 9. Like
this is kayfabe for you, bro.
Okay, mainstream news coverage is good, but is Jackass mainstream? Do people care about Jackass?
I'm just glad that they didn't make like all 4 members of Jackass enter the Royal Rumble. Can you imagine?
Oh god.
Fucking Pee Wee and then Steve-O all enter one by one. Wow, that would be damn fucked up.
Yeah, I mean, but even Johnny Knoxville himself, like, I didn't care because I never watched Jackass, so I have no connection whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, me too. I didn't watch Jackass as well. Oh, Najwan is in the chat. He said, hi, Cesaro. Yes, I agree with you, bro.
So sad. So who says Damien Bodo will listen to Shorty G to take on Omas?
Oh yeah, the interaction, right?
See the thing, like, I mean, they try to do a little comedy there where, you know, Gable is supposed to be the smartest one there, so he instruct everybody. I actually enjoy that, you know. Yeah. Omas, unfortunately, right, is...
They are trying to make Omas, because they were trying to do the whole spot where everyone gang up on the monster, right?
Yeah,
in the match. But Omas, with every single passing day, he's reminding me more of Great Khali, Giant Gonzalez, than like a proper like big ass wrestler, you know?
Why? Okay, I'm sorry, but like, I know this is so random, but they brought in an Omas and a Commander Aziz, but they got rid of Braun Strowman. I mean, fuck, man.
Yeah.
You know
what the
what
fuck is wrong with them?
You know what I mean? Like Braun Strowman is a monster and he can work. He has the he had a few storylines going for him. Omos can't. He's just he's not even a look. Braun Strowman is fucking jacked. He's a monster and he's jacked. Omos is a monster, but he's not jacked. He's like kind of just like you said, like a great Khali.
Yeah. That's the thing. Like, is WWE just being cheap? they just want to get a cheaper monster. That's why they keep Omos.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Like maybe their thinking is like, okay, we can have Omos and Aziz for the price of one Braun, or maybe even like 5 people for the price of one Braun. Okay, we take the 5. They can just like, you know, we present them. We put a bow on him and make him look like a monster. Have him beat up a bunch of cruiserweights.
I don't know what it is, but like. The thing is, Omos had almost a year to team up with the best wrestler of this generation, and he still sucks. How, bro?
Look, AJ Styles is good. He is not a fucking magician, okay? He cannot make shit into gold.
Yeah, he's not a miracle worker.
No, he did his best. He did his best, okay?
Bro, you put Shawn Michaels with Omos also cannot. Like, even Diesel better.
Yeah, well, I mean, here's the thing. That's what they were trying to do. Shawn Michaels, Diesel, right? They were trying to do that, but nope, didn't work at all. Like, Diesel had charisma. And even though he was injury prone, he could work a match. Omos, not there at all.
It's a very random thing I wanted to just bring up. I was just randomly, because of like they have the whole new NWO pre-order edition, right?
Yeah, of WWE 2K22, yeah.
Yeah, so it just made me go down the NWO like rabbit hole. And I was just listening to the NWO Wolfpack theme song. And that shit was like goes hard, man. And I was like reading up about it. Do you know that the one that actually came out and composed that track was of all people Jimmy Hart?
Really?
Yeah. Jimmy Hart came out with a rap track.
Okay.
And then he hired an actual black rapper to do the rap part, but he is the one that composed it. So I'm like, what the fish?
I didn't know he was a music composer, but apparently he's more talented than I give him credit for.
Holy crap, bro. Jimmy Hart created a lot of the theme songs. The Real American was composed by Jimmy Hart.
Really?
Yeah, and Shawn Michaels' Heartbreak Kid was actually composed by Jimmy Hart, but then Jim Johnston took over the production, but he was the one that composed it.
Wow, okay. The more you know.
He really was a music producer. That's not just his gimmick.
Right. Okay, let's move on. Ricochet, Chad. Okay, I wish they gave more. I mean, doesn't Chad Gable give you Kurt Angle vibes?
Yeah, I love it, man. I think he is like this generation's Kurt Angle for sure.
Yeah. Dominic Mysterio. Okay, whatever.
Dominic and Ray didn't do anything
together, yeah, which is weird. Whatever. You can't always have those combinations, I guess, you know. And let's face it, like, they are not a priority storyline right now.
Yeah. I just thought they were gonna have that whole epic betrayal of someone eliminate each other in the Rumble.
Yeah. Happy Corbin, Madcap Moss got more of a shine. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Which I appreciated. Oh, and look at that shot where it froze for a second there. You were not impressed by what we were talking about, huh?
No, bro. I'm not impressed by the fact that the internet connection sucks, even though I have internet cable. But sure.
No, but by and large, it's a lot smoother. The lag packets are a lot less. Okay, Rick Boogs actually looked pretty good. He really does look like a buffed up. Oh my god, what's the guy's name?
Who's
Freddie Mercury.
Oh yeah. No, I can't unsee it, bro.
Yeah, a buff Freddie Mercury.
And he can sing, right? I mean, he's a singer, I guess, right?
I mean, he shreds. That's his whole gimmick. So
yeah.
Okay, then we got Sheamus, Bad Bunny. Let's talk about Bad Bunny.
I'm in a weird way. I'm kind of happy Bad Bunny came. Like it was. If you talk about celebrity cameo appearances, I mean, he's one of the best. So might as well, right?
To be honest, too, like I'm looking at the list of entrants. There are only technically 3 free agents: Johnny Knoxville, Bad Bunny, and Shane McMahon. Okay, and you're right. I didn't mind Bad Bunny. Johnny Knoxville, I get it. The movie's coming out, so there's relevance there. Shane McMahon.
28, right? He appeared.
Yeah, 28. Why?
I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, like, okay, the crowd pops because it's Shane, you know, people know him. Like, you could have had
Cesaro,
a Finn Balor.
Yeah.
Elias walked until where?
He already burned himself, bro. He's in the forest, remember?
Yeah, right, yeah. Then he walk, and then he's like, he burns his guitar and he burned himself, and then Elias like, whatever. Veer is still swimming from India.
I was just about to say, what about the most anticipated debut of all time? Why was no Veer? Come on.
Every week, Veer is coming to Raw. Veer is coming to Raw. At this point, like, I don't want to see him show up. Just have him just be a meme.
I think it's a joke. I think the WWE creative just making him into a joke. He's gonna be like, remember Amalina? Malina?
Yeah.
She just appear and then to like never appear again.
You know what would be sad? Like every week they spend that promo time on Veer, and he shows up, has one match, and then becomes an absolute jobber.
I think he's not even gonna show up. He's just gonna get really. Can you imagine? He never shows up. Every week got promo. Then suddenly Veer has been released from WWE. He took too long to come to Raw, bro.
Oh my god, if that happened, I would actually legitimately laugh my ass off. If he gets a future endeavored.
Veer is coming and going.
Veer is all elite. Then for half a year you get Veer is all elite posters, but he also never show up.
And then when Veer turned up, he was like, "Oh, sorry guys, I was on the way to Raw, but I made a wrong stop. Now I'm in AEW."
Oh shit! At this point, you know what? If they had any brains, the writers would just capitalize on it and make it into a meme joke.
Yeah, that's why. What? Okay, one of our chat brought up a great point, Irvin, I think. Bro, Kevin Owens, I thought would have had a much better performance. Kevin Owens should have I thought he would have been like final 2, final 3.
Yeah.
They could have even used his history with Shane McMahon and eliminated Shane McMahon.
See, it goes back to my point of really, this year's Rumble just felt like, oh, y'all go out there, have a match. The match is the Rumble. We only care about one story, and that's Brock coming in at number 30. Oh, before we get to that though, there was one more thing I wanted to talk about. I forgot what it was. Hold on. Kofi Kingston.
Oh, the whole botch, right?
Yeah, I find that very weird. Because why wouldn't they just let him carry on with his gimmick, even though the camera angle did catch, because they cut so fast, you couldn't really tell until they played the slow-mo.
Yeah. I mean, he's had a great success rate so far.
Yeah.
It's bound to happen. He's bound to fuck up at least one.
Yeah, but it's not like the fuck up was very obvious, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but because of that, kind of spoiled the entire thing, right?
Yeah.
I heard that he was supposed to stay in the Rumble and have a spot with Big E, and New Day was supposed to do some shit together, but I think because of his elimination, they couldn't do that spot. Yeah, so and Kofi apparently put out a tweet right after, quite a funny tweet. He said something like, "It's better to have failed than never to try at all."
Oh God, yeah.
He just went philosophical on that.
Yeah, I mean, it sucks lah, but I guess that's how it is. Okay, Randy Orton comes out. This is his hometown. Crowd pops, and then RK Bro, they're in the ring, they're doing their thing. I was like, man, I thought Randy Orton would have a bigger showing as well. But once again, it just got overshadowed. Everything got overshadowed.
He was in the ring for how long? Less than 5 minutes? Less than 2 minutes?
2 minutes, bro.
Yeah, fucking fast.
Yeah.
It's WWE troller. His hometown, let him go out and then just lose in 2 minutes.
Exactly right.
What the fuck?
Meanwhile, Bad Bunny had 7 minutes. Shane McMahon had 5 minutes.
Yeah, and the thing is, I was talking about Big E, Drew McIntyre. All these were just stars last year.
Yep.
They felt like complete afterthought, complete ice cold, bro, in this match.
Okay. To be fair, let me play devil's advocate here, and I'm having a very hard time trying to rationalize this decision, right? But maybe Brock Lesnar is just on another level, and that's how they're trying to push Brock Lesnar. Okay, the second that he's in the Rumble, nobody else matters because he is the destroyer, he's the king, he's the champion.
Okay, let's look at the final two then. Brock Lesnar and Drew McIntyre. 2 years ago, do you remember how crazy hype the crowd was for Drew McIntyre to eliminate Brock Lesnar?
Well, I mean, this goes to WWE's booking, right? That this year they've booked him straight into a feud with Madcap Moss and Happy Corbin.
Exactly, bro. Exactly. Only WWE would do this,
Yeah. He went from the top straight into like some like bullshit go away heat feud that nobody gave a crap about. And I get the whole like, oh, Brock Lesnar versus Drew McIntyre, like he was the one who eliminated him in 2020, right? I get the history, but also immediately I was like, oh, obviously Brock is going to win lah.
Yeah, but the thing is, Brock winning and taking back the heat, right? Doesn't it feel like it kind of like destroys the amount of effort they built up Drew McIntyre previously through Brock?
It felt like they've destroyed everybody's heat.
Yeah, it's like Brock was like, okay, I gave you the heat 2 years ago. Okay, now I'm going to take it back.
Yeah.
Finish already.
I wouldn't put it on Brock though. That's the thing. I put it on booking decision and just terrible writing. We talked about this. I mean, on the face of it, this Rumble wasn't bad. It's just that you could have... I mean, sorry, not the Rumble wasn't bad. The decision to have Brock go to WrestleMania to face Roman Reigns is expected. But it's something that we want to see anyway, right?
Yeah.
It's just how they got there that's like irritating. Like you sacrifice the whole Rumble just for that. And the problem here is they did it twice in one night with Brock and with Ronda Rousey. If it only happened once, okay, that's fine. Then, you know, at least the other Rumble delivered. But in this case, they did the exact same thing on both Rumbles. And I think that's what hurt the entire Rumble as one event.
That's what annoyed most of the fans is that if you even want to give down a predictable route for one Rumble, you should have at least given another one like a surprise chance. If you look at the history, right, bro, the last 10 years, the last decade, right, WWE has had a very bad track record with Royal Rumble winners. Like it's always like the established names. I think only 3 years where they actually tried to build new stars, the Nakamura, Seth Rollins, and Drew McIntyre. Everything else all was like establishing. So I feel like the whole point of Royal Rumble was always to build new stars. Like my favorite run, right, for me, right, during the Ruthless Aggression era was like 2003 Brock Lesnar, 2004 Chris Benoit, 2005 Batista, 2006 Rey Mysterio, 2007 then he went back to establishing Undertaker. But that 4-year run, every wrestler was elevated to the main event level.
Well, then my question is, once again, going back to that same statement I made, and I've made so many times, they just don't see anybody in their roster right now that is the breakout star, could be a breakout star. They don't have faith in them, you know, or they don't care to. They're like, all right, let's just go with this, that we're paying this fuckface so much money anyway. You know, have him be he's the main event one.
Yeah, I guess. But the thing is, how long more are you going to use this investment on Brock Lesnar? Brock Lesnar's investment is going to come up soon, man. He's in his mid-40s really. Yeah,
so yeah, exactly, right? So then so Roman Reigns is the next guy. So you have Brock put Roman Reigns over one last time big, and then Roman Reigns will become that guy in the next couple of years. But then you need other people coming up to challenge.
Yeah, like, I mean, Roman is the biggest guy of this generation. Like he got the rub from John Cena, from Brock Lesnar, blah blah blah, Undertaker. So yeah, I can see Roman being like the be all end all monster. But like you said, like if it's just one monster and everyone else is like, blah, it's like
well, you know they have Braun Breaker in the wings waiting.
Oh, Braun Breaker. I mean, Braun Breaker, maybe I mean, he's great. I see his potential. Austin Theory. Maybe.
But, you know, Braun Breaker doesn't exist in this WWE universe.
Yeah, in this universe, right? So I feel like the stars are there. You can't say that no one in WWE, the guys are, at least the guys, cannot wrestle. Every single guy who's in the roster can fucking wrestle.
Yep. No, there's never been a doubt. There has never been a doubt. It's just the booking. It's just getting the chance to shine. And here's the thing. It's going to be very hard to shine when you are given scripts, when you can't be yourself, you know? So, like, I don't know.
It will take time. Okay, but moving forward, like looking ahead, right? I feel like Elimination Chamber, I like that there's an Elimination Chamber pay-per-view in between. Like, usually I don't like it because it's like, it gets in the way. I want to faster go to WrestleMania. But I feel like Elimination Chamber will help to create more matchups for WrestleMania like the Royal Rumble matches has guaranteed who will be the main event, right? Roman, Brock Lesnar, very obvious. But I want to see the rest of the card fill up that one will be done through Elimination Chamber.
Okay. Can we also argue that the Rumble, just like, I don't know, Money in the Bank, just like a lot of these matches have now become just, instead of like, the Rumble is something special, it's become another gimmick match?
I wouldn't say yes to that, but because, right, this is, of course, on the other side of watching this year's Rumble. But going into this year's Rumble, the hype was legit, bro.
It was. And maybe that's why we feel disappointed, because we were expecting surprises. And when no surprises came, it's like, oh. I think Irvin brought in a good point. Like, were casuals expecting Ronda? So to the casual fan, maybe Ronda, I mean, no, actually, like, I guess I'm not a casual, right? But I also thought Ronda's surprise was a big surprise.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like,
But the problem is, the second Ronda shows up, the conclusion becomes forgotten. It's like, okay lah, must be Ronda win, right? Who else can win?
Was it a big surprise for you though? Like,
it was a surprise. It's not a big surprise. Like, I had goosebumps. Like, whoa, it was a whoa moment. And like I said, I tried my best and I managed to stay off social media. So I didn't know that was coming outside. I wasn't thinking about it. So it's like, oh shit, okay.
So you enjoyed it a bit more, lah.
Rishi says this felt like a battle royale on some random episode of Raw. Like, oh.
All right. You know what? Let me share with you guys, like, we did. I put up a Insta story about like what's your thoughts on the Royal Rumble. I just want to read out some of the people that said what they said. Jason said, I got my predictions for both Rumbles right, so it felt predictable.
Okay, yeah, but I mean that's because you read the cheats, so.
Okay, so and then Gaddafi said one of the worst in recent history.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lincoln said Brock doesn't need the Rumble. The whole point of this whole podcast, right?
Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah. Grim06 said disappointed on the men's side. Daniel said Ronda should not win the Rumble. It should either have been Sasha, Liv, or Naomi. Interesting choices.
Ooh.
Captain Zarv said great women's Rumble, terrible men's Rumble.
I think the Ronda thing is not so egregious, not as bad as the Brock thing. I think the main problem is Brock entering at number 30. How are they going to explain Brock entering at number 30, by the way? So you mean to tell me in a logical sense, right, on the night itself you had no number 30?
It's a weird thing to try to explain away, right?
Yeah, I'm sure WWE will just like not explain it. And even if you still had Paul Heyman by Brock Lesnar's side, you could explain it, because you could say, Brock Lesnar somehow made a deal with somebody and bought his spot. Like, it was supposed to have been Cesaro's spot, but he bought it from him or some shit like that, right?
Knowing Brock, I think he will probably has just like S-rate Adam Pearce or some shit like that. Like, you better give me the rum. You don't do a hide and right.
Or maybe it was supposed to have been somebody else's, and then they start a feud with Brock.
Yeah, that would be interesting. I mean, I hope they will explain, but I know WWE, they will not explain it.
Yeah, because this seems like a very loose end, like a weird random thread that somebody should go and pull. If they were smart. Weird. Yeah.
Okay, I got a couple more points. Pascal said decisions/bookings made sense, but event fell flat. I think that's a great.
I think that is pretty much my whole vibe with this Royal Rumble. It's like, okay, everything's leading up to WrestleMania. Everything falls into place. It's just how we got there that was a bit flat. And yeah.
But sometimes we have to give WWE due, because usually they never plan out their storyline. They always like chop and change last minute, right?
Yeah.
So the fact that they're trying to stay the course, I mean, okay lah, I give it to them in a way.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, sorry. Carl said it was fun, but Jinlong said not good, not bad, average, probably 6.5 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, I would give it a 5. Actually, it was just
very average.
Yeah, it's a very, very average. I think the problem is, and I'm going to reiterate it again. Right now, every character that is not in the main event is bland and replaceable, and that's why not having Cesaro in there, actually, I didn't even realize until the end. Like,
did you realize about Finn Balor as well?
I did not, until somebody brought, that's right. So like nobody, like there is no, and once again, this is not the performer's fault, this is the booking's fault. That it's made everybody so replaceable. So, okay, once in a while you come in, that it's like, oh, okay, there's no thread running through. You just have to look at the 2020 Royal Rumble to see a really exciting Rumble with lots of storyline. Everyone, had something going for them. And then here it's like, oh, okay, they're just doing it for the sake of doing the match.
Yeah, I think that's still the standard bearer until now. Yeah. Okay, last 2 points. So Muhammad Daniel says, well, at least I got the Women's Royal Rumble correct for predictions. And Rishi said it sucked except for Roman and Rollins.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's pretty much it, right? General consensus. Except for a few main event folk, everything else is in dire need of some character and charisma injection. Yeah,
but it is what it is. But I don't know. It was kind of like a downer, especially after the month leading up to this Royal Rumble. I was really hyped for it. I was really excited for it.
Well,
but I do agree that the main championship matches, I think, delivered what we expected.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Rumble,
this is just a vehicle for us to get to WrestleMania. So we at least have that to look forward to. And I'm also actually quite looking forward to Saudi Mania because I know they'll pull out all the stops. If not for the fans, then for the money.
Of course.
That's what they care about, bro. That's what they really care about, the money.
Yeah. And they gave a good Saudi Mania last October. So, hey, you never know.
Maybe that's why Shane is back. He's up for winning the Best in the World trophy again.
Shane, and it's gonna be teamed up by Metcalf, Moss, and Baron Corbin. Mark my words.
Oh my God, the most go away heat, people.
Okay, I guess we can just put a bow on today's Rumble review. Yeah.
That's right. Okay. So everybody, thank you so much for hanging out here on this Lunar New Year Eve. If you're celebrating later today, tomorrow, the rest of the week, we wish you 恭喜发财, 万事如意, all that good stuff. Lots of prosperity. Easy for me to say. Prosperity, good health for the year of the tiger. The year of the tiger. Dun, 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 dun.
Yes. I would like to wish all my Chinese friends, including you, Mr. Yang, my best Chinese friend.
Yes.
Happy Chinese New Year. Please enjoy your 2-day holiday as well.
I absolutely will. And enjoy the rest of the week in wrestling because, they did tease Ronda Rousey is going to show up on Raw. Who is she going to challenge? Like, that's a big surprise.
Yeah, hey, you can watch Raw live Tuesday morning, like an off day, I guess. Maybe. I'll probably do that.
Question is, do I want to? Do I want to?
Indeed, that is the question indeed. But you know what you should do? Stay tuned next week. We'll be back every week. Yeah?
Oh, we have so much to talk about next week as well. Of course, follow our socials for updates. We are on Instagram. If you haven't already liked this video, by the way, help us lah. Hit like, very easy. Just hit like. Hit subscribe as well. We have a brand new video up about the biggest Rumble flops going into WrestleMania. Oh, do we have to update it for this year or not? No.
No, it's okay. Just leave it as it is. Don't worry.
Yeah. True.
Yeah. And of course, next week, one great thing that's happening, local wrestling is coming back.
Oh my gosh! Finally. Yes. So Grapple Max will be having an event called Third Time's the Charm. One last leg spike before we get the hell out of here. If you haven't already, go check out our social media pages. If you're listening to this on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts, we thank you so very much. We do the live stream every single Monday when we can. Sometimes we pre-record, like, AEW or WWE, sometimes they have to pre-record due to unforeseen circumstances.
Of course. But no matter what, we'll try our best to be there. If you wanna hang out with us and talk wrestling, our Discord is open. Can send memes, can send Veer, can send Hook. Anyone you wanna send, just send on it.
We should just put a send Veer, send Hook channel. We should open a new channel.
Or just create the emoji kick to the gut emoji.
There it is, the bot Sun, as we talked about the Discord, put up the link. So click on the link and join us on Discord to come chat, come talk about wrestling, everything wrestling, okay?
Perfect.
Hey, everybody, go enjoy your CNY holiday. It's Mr. Young.
And it's Foreign in the building. Where's my ang pao?
Let's get out of here tomorrow. I give you ang pao tomorrow, huh?
Alright.
Kick to the gut. I like it.